Over the past several days, 3 females have been found dead.
Looks like someone's going after these girls.
Then they have to know to watch their backs.
Streaming March 13th.
You really want what happened to this woman? That happened to you?
Exactly why I need to keep going on this.
Starring Emmy Award winner Amanda Seyfried.
I'm worried about what you're gonna find.
So am I.
Long Bright River. A limited series. Streaming March 13th. Only on Peacock.
Building a portfolio with Fidelity Basket Portfolios is kind of like making a sandwich. It's as simple as picking your stocks and ETFs, sort of like your meats and other toppings, and managing it as one big, juicy investment. Now that's pretty good. Learn more at fidelity.com/baskets. Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Yeah. We just chillin' and vibing. Good conversations with good people. Oh. Good conversations with good people. Yeah.
Yo, this your boy Larry, and I'm chilling and vibing with Miss Monique. What's going on, girl?
What's up? What's up, Larry? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming to chill and vibe.
Chillin' and vibe.
So, Monique, where you from?
I bring you greetings from sunny Southern California. Born and raised out here. That's where.
Born and raised in Cali, so you're a Lakers fan?
I'm not a basketball fan.
What?
No, I'm a football girl. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I'm
what's
not really
what's
a
your
basketball
football
fan.
team?
Every time I say my favorite team, I always get so much hate. But my favorite team are the 49ers. That's my favorite football team. I know. See? Every
I
time.
mean, but nah, the 49ers, hey, I can't talk. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, and we ain't looking too good
Oh,
ourselves. Y'all looking
no.
way better than us. But hey, y'all looking all right. Y'all better than us. Have you ever attended a game?
One. Yes, I went a year ago. My first game, it was a 49ers game, and I was so excited because I've never been to a live NFL game before. So that was very exciting. Yes.
Yeah, crazy work, Andy. I know you like all these people.
Uh-huh. A lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's dope. Being an author, like, how did that journey start?
Very unexpectedly. So I sing, and my main thing is I'm a singer, and I travel and I do praise and worship, and I've got original music out, an EP, and one day I just had a friend call me and randomly and said, Monique, you need to write a book. And I was like, well, that's weird. Like, what do you mean? Because I never ever in a million years ever thought I would have written a book. Because I'm like, I'm a singer, not an author. What do you mean write a book? And then probably about 4 or 5 days later, a different friend called who doesn't even know the first friend and started off their conversation saying, you need to write a book. And I was like, what? And then the next week, another friend called. And again, none of these people know each other. And same thing. Started off the conversation with like, I've been thinking about it and you need to write a book. So I was like, okay, so maybe God's trying to tell me something. So after the third person, I was like, okay. So then I was like, but I don't even know how. I don't know where to start. I don't even know what to write about. But all 3 of them said they think I should write about my own personal story and how it can be very encouraging to people. I said, okay. I saw this kid on Facebook and I bought his like $40 program to teach you how to write a book in a month. And I went through all his like tutorials, all his videos showing you how to break it up, how to divide it, then how to just to do self-publishing through Amazon, which is what I did, and where to find an editor, where to find a person to do the cover art, to format the book, all the details. Like he really take you through the whole process of how to do it. So it took me 5 weeks. So I wrote my book in 5 weeks. And it's short. It's only like 90 pages. So, but yeah, so that's how my author journey started. It was very unexpected because I was like, no plans, zero plans to ever write a book. And then all of a sudden, yeah. So I wrote that first book, and from that book, a lot of doors opened, and yeah, and more just continue to open. So I'm grateful for it.
So what was your first book about?
So the first book is called Pursuing Purity Under Pressure, and it's a mix of my own story, being someone who raised in church, grew up in church, and I think we kind of always heard like, don't have sex before marriage because it's bad, and that was it. And nobody explained why. So I really wanted to give the why behind the wait. So I talk about sex from a spiritual standpoint, a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, and a very scientific standpoint. And so just to give people an understanding of why is it that God is even asking this of us? Why is this something that he's even saying to wait until marriage? So I really wanted to give the why behind the wait, and then also give people the how to. Like if this is a lifestyle, because it's a lifestyle that I practice, and especially for Christian singles who are believing God for marriage, and the importance behind it and the real meaning of sex, of marriage. So that's kind of what this first book is about.
So if somebody would want to purchase those books, how could they do that?
You can go to my website. So my website, you can get them from there. It's www.pursuingpurity.net. And you'll see a tab there for books. I have three books now. But that is the first one. So you can read all the book reviews about it. I have online courses that I created from it. And if you purchase an online course, the book comes free and I mail that to you. So, yeah, so that was the first book.
So Thriving Singlehood Mentorship Program, like what
Yeah.
made you want to start up a program?
So that was because I would get a lot of DMs from people. And I would get a lot of DMs from people who were single, wanting to be married, feeling like dating life sucks. There's no good people left out here, type of a thing. And I know a lot of people can relate to that. And just even asking me as a single person who's still believing for marriage and waiting for that, like, how are you able to honestly hold on to this hope? And how can you be so optimistic about it? And so the whole premise of the program is really to encourage singles on how to do singleness well and how to better prepare yourself. Because in order for us to see healthy marriages, healthy relationships, we need to be healthy single people. And so that's really what the program focuses on. And talk about like how to set really good boundaries for yourself, how to become emotionally mature and emotionally healthy, how to communicate properly with the opposite sex. I think there's such a breakdown in communication between men and women. And that's why we see a lot of relationships not last. So yeah, even just developing your relationship with God. So that's kind of the whole premise of it. And it's been great. So on the website, which is thrivinginsinglehood.com, you can read testimonials of former students that I had that gone through the program and what they had to say about it. So yeah, we start again in March. So yes.
That's what's up. So like what advice, what I'm saying, would you give a single person, wanting to get in a relationship with somebody that have been hurt?
That's been hurt. Yes, I know. I've been deeply wounded myself a couple of times from relationships, and don't let it jade you. That's all I gotta say. Don't, because not every person out here is like the person that hurt you. And you have to remember that. And even in the midst of that hurt, give yourself the time to fully heal. And I know sometimes I don't think people properly allow themselves to even feel the hurt. That way they can fully heal from it and then move on, because you want to get to a place where if we talk about that situation, it doesn't sting anymore. Because if something still stings, or you still get upset or feel like crying when you talk about how you've been wronged, how someone cheated on you or hurt you in the past, then that's just kind of an indicator that you're not fully healed yet. And so you want to get to the place where you are, so that way you can be in a place to receive someone else to come into your life, and that you are ready for that person. So really just prepare yourself in every way that you can, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, for the next relationship that's going to come.
So you being single, like what do you look for in a spouse?
So for me, definitely a man who lines up when it comes to my relationship with Christ. He's got to be a man after God's heart. He's got to be a man who's passionate about God, that his love and passion for God matches my own. And then even a man who his gifts and his talents, whatever God's created him to do, lines up with mine, because I know for me personally, I'm called to the world. I travel. I've been to 18 countries so far. I do a lot of ministry. So a man that's got that same heart and same passion, that is the most important thing for me personally.
Have you ever met a guy you was head over heels for, or you was falling for him, but because of your beliefs that it didn't work because you say you want to wait for marriage to have sex?
Yeah, that was probably my very first boyfriend, actually. And I talk about this and go into detail in the book and even in my courses about this. But yes, so I am actually a virgin and I'm waiting until marriage to have sex. So dating for me personally, since that point, because that man wasn't, and that man had cheated on me. And people are like, oh, well, it's because that's why, he needed some. No, I don't agree. There's plenty of men who have dated since then that are remaining abstinent themselves. And so that's why dating hasn't been a problem or anything, because since that point, I only date men who are remaining abstinent. I only date men who are choosing to preserve themselves and wait until marriage. Not that he has to be a virgin, but I mean, he's taken a stance that, he's going to honor God with his body and wants to do things God's way. So, yeah, so I only date men who line up with my same values.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Well, you know what they say, a way to a man's heart. The woman got to know how to throw down in the kitchen.
Yes, yes, yes. That's an old saying, and it still rings true today. And I encourage women, ladies, learn how to cook. Like, learn how to cook. If you don't know your way around the kitchen, learn. There's cookbooks, YouTube videos, you can learn. I think, unfortunately, the culture that we're in at present, women have become too entitled in that way, where they want certain treatment and they want to be treated like a lady and they want a man to be chivalrous, yet they don't respond in the proper way or the traditional way of why men were like this. For a woman, took really good care of a woman because of all the things that she reciprocated. A lot of women nowadays don't want to reciprocate what a man is doing for them. And that is a very simple, easy thing that all men appreciate, because it's a way that I even show love, even for guy friends that I have that have maybe helped me with something. That's a way that I show my appreciation to them. I'll cook for them. I'll make them a meal. And that's a way for me to show appreciation. So, yes,
Yeah,
so
it's
important.
not hard at all, but you
It's
gotta you
not.
gotta be you gotta be willing to want to learn. And
Yes,
it got some women that don't want to take the time to learn. I got a
they do.
funny story. So this girl I was with once upon a time, she had want to surprise me with cooking. So I was at work, so she had called my mom, and she was like, "Miss Meredith, I'm cooking for your son today." And my mama said, "Oh, baby, what you cooking?" And she said, "I'm cooking cabbage." So she went to show my mama what she was cooking. It wasn't cabbage. It was lettuce. My mama said, "Baby, baby girl, baby, that's lettuce. That ain't no cabbage." But you know, me being the nice guy that I am, I ate the lettuce. It was seasoned nice, but I ate the lettuce. I ate the lettuce. I ain't want her to feel
Uh-huh.
bad, so I like that. Yeah, okay. It ain't cabbage, but I guess you trying something new tonight. That was funny. And,
But it's true.
and
Yes,
after that,
ladies, make an
after
effort.
that, yeah, after that, she ain't cook no more. Yeah, I guess that just killed her confidence. So what she had, she ain't had cook no more.
I see. It's
But that
practice.
was
It's practice.
exactly, and what Allen Iverson say? Practice, practice, practice. You got to keep practicing, man.
Yeah.
You got to keep practicing.
And cooking is something that
That's
you
it.
definitely do because that's how you like tweak recipes and you try this instead and this. Yeah, it's practice. That's how you get good.
It is exactly. But yeah, hey, good luck to the next one. 'Cause, boy, she might cook them some lettuce too. Yeah, that was some crazy work. That was some crazy work. I saw you had went to Africa and you was teaching over there and singing. How was that experience?
Wonderful. So I have gone 3 times to Johannesburg, South Africa, which I will go again this coming May. Um, I went because I was invited because they got a hold of the first book in Pursuing Purity Under Pressure. And I was requested to come to teach in the schools on abstinence and purity. Um, here in America, we live in a very over sexualized culture, but over there, it's even more so. So kids are much more even promiscuous than what we have here because we have so many teenagers over there who are 14, 15, 16 years old, and they already have full blown AIDS because they're just very promiscuous. And so I was invited to junior highs and high schools and even fifth graders. So I'm talking to 9 and 10-year-olds about sex because that's how young they're starting. So I brought my books and gave one to each school as a part of like the library. And I just had the ability to go in and talk to them and teach them and show them the benefit and the blessing of waiting until marriage and why that's a good thing. And then I sing to them. So, I got their attention because I'm singing and they're dancing to my music and stuff. So it was a lot of fun. And then I had the opportunity afterwards to be able to pray for any of the kids that wanted prayer. So I got to pray for them. I got to hug all of them. Yeah. So it's always just such a wonderful experience. So going into the schools is my favorite part of the trip. I mean, I'm in different churches. I'll do a youth conference. I'm also into the prisons, but I don't speak to the prisoners, but I sing to them. That way it draws them and brings them out into the yard. And then my other teammates give their testimony and share and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely become a favorite trip of mine. So this will be my 4th time going back in May.
That's dope. That's dope. Hearing that, man. Keep doing that. Putting that
Thank you.
positive energy out. So you talking about your singing, your singing. We didn't even talk about that yet. So like, how did you get into singing?
It's just, I think since junior high, I joined choir, and then I was a choir girl, junior high and high school. Um, I went to a school where it was called show choir. It was a competitive choir, so I traveled around the state competing against other schools, other high schools, their choirs. So that was a lot of fun. And then at 15, I joined the praise and worship team at church. So as a teenager in the youth group. And then from there, I went into like the main sanctuary, the big church, and started leading praise and worship at 17. And then I just was receiving invitations to come and sing. So that's what happens oftentimes. So I had a band that was traveling with me and yeah, invitations for events, conferences, church services, camps. Yeah, I do worship and sing so since I was a teen, I've been doing it.
So like, what songs do you have out? I heard you say you had an EP out.
I do, yeah. So I released from the EP a single called Keep Your Head Up. And that was probably the one that everyone really likes. And that song actually alone, it was played on a couple radio stations on the East Coast. And then that opened up a lot of doors. So I ended up doing like a 40 city tour and 5 radio interviews across the US, from California to New York to Miami, off of that one song, like legit. And yeah, it's still probably my favorite song. So it's called Keep Your Head Up. And you can find it everywhere on, Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff. So, but yeah, so that's the first one. So you'll have to go check that out.
So you got your own podcast also. What made you want to start your own podcast journey?
The same thing, because in regards to people messaging me, so the podcast I have is called Bite Size Insight. It's only 10 minutes or less. And what I would do is I will take like a verse from the Bible, I'll take a particular word or a phrase, and I will break it down into bite sizes. So give people the word of God in bite size and small doses, and I will give you like the literal meaning of it, the context, the historical context, how this could be applied to your life. And so it's only 10 minutes or less. So my whole thing is kind of like bite-sized content. My books are only 90 pages or less. The podcast is only 10 minutes or less. All my blog posts are like less than 1,000 words. So for me personally, it's like bite-sized content is kind of like my thing. So that's why. So they're just little short episodes that I record. And yeah, I'll be coming out with some new ones this year.
So you staying out there in LA, y'all had the LA fires. Did that affect you in any way?
No, it did not affect me personally. But I do know people that it did, and it was tough. It's really sad. And yeah. Yeah, I think we'll see how it goes when they rebuild for all those people, but a lot of situations where it was like definitely, you would say it was done on purpose. I mean, you could see how just certain things that you hear, and but yeah, it's a tough situation.
It definitely is. My prayers go out to all the families over there
Yeah.
that was affected by that fires, man. Seeing it on social media and on the news, it's like, wow. Like, over here we deal with like hurricanes, and
Yeah.
over there, y'all deal with the fires. It's sad, man.
Hmm.
Prayers go out to the families.
Yes.
Monique, what advice would you give someone looking for love? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to get whole first. Just make sure that you are in a place that you know you can fully offer everything about yourself to a person, that you are healthy and whole mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Like that is definitely something that, it's like almost like a cliche. You hear people say we're always looking for the right one, but we actually need to become the right one. And that means for us to put in the work, the discipline, the sacrifice to become the people that we actually want. Because, would you date you is what it comes down to. Like, is there things within your own self that you could still change? I mean, sure, to a certain extent, we can always be maturing and growing in different ways. But I mean, where you are right now in this place, are you even able to receive someone? Would you be able to steward them properly? Like, would you be able to know how to handle this person in the sense of how to handle them well in this season of life? Like, are you actually ready for what you're really hoping for or praying for? So getting ready and preparing yourself for what you're praying for and being prepared for that. So that's the advice that I would give. And I go way more in detail on that in the mentorship program.
That's what's up. Well, Monique, I appreciate you for coming to Chill and Vibe. But before we go, let everybody know what we doing.
Y'all, we are chilling and vibing. I'm here with Larry.
Oh yeah, appreciate you.